I think Conor Benn is better than people give him credit for. I know Conor is a very hard worker. He's always going to come in shape, and he's going to bring the pressure. And I heard he's training for a knockout. I think Conor is training for a knockout, is what I was told. I think that's his best chance to win.
I'm giving Conor the chance. Like, everyone's writing him off. Everyone's saying he's getting... I just think Conor's so brave, and if I'm being honest, he's a bit deluded himself.
Mike Coppinger made it clear that Conor Benn's work ethic isn't the question, but his only real chance to win is by knockout, and that's exactly what he's training for. Coppinger expects a much sharper version of Benn on fight night. He believes improved preparation and a more favorable weight cut should bring out Benn's best.
I mean, Ryan's been on the canvas before. He's got up, but he's been on the canvas before. Conor can certainly crack. And I think Conor's going to have a better weight cut this time around. I know he has to lose 3 more pounds, not easy, but he has, he only had a 6-week training camp last time when he fought Prograis. And again, I know Prograis was at the end of it. He retired after the fight, but Prograis is a very crafty fighter. So I don't think we should take too much from somebody who's not looking their best in a quote-unquote stay busy fight. And we've seen it a million times over the years, whether it's Tyson Fury against Otto Wallin or against Francis Ngannou. We saw with Evander Holyfield back in the 90s against Bobby Chez. I think fighters need something to get up for. I'm expecting a much better Conor Benn.
Mike Coppinger also points to Benn's welterweight history as a reason for optimism. He believes the extra time spent preparing for the weight should allow Benn to perform closer to his peak, bringing back the power that once made him so dangerous.
Look, this is going to be Conor Benn's, first fight at 147 in 4.5 years, so that is not easy. I've been around Conor Benn a lot. He's a big guy. But he only had 6 weeks to make weight for the Regis Prograis fight. I think it's going to be a better weight cut this time around. He did it once before earlier this year. Now he has a lot more time to do it. And don't forget, right, Tim? He was a massive puncher at 147 years ago. I think about the fights against Chris Algieri, Chris Van Heerden. I'm not saying those guys are killers, but...
Duke McKenzie remains unconvinced that Benn has what it takes to overcome Garcia. He believes the combination of the weight cut and Garcia's continued development leaves Benn with a difficult task, making the champion's overall experience and progression a significant advantage.
I don't know how he beats Ryan Garcia. I mean, listen, there's the lucky punch, of course there is, but Conor has not boxed at 147 for 4 years. And when you're trying to make weight and you have to drag to make weight, takes away your A game. Even his A game, I'm not so sure would beat Ryan Garcia, because Garcia is a much improved champion now. Since getting that belt wrapped around his waist, I think he's a much improved champion. He's mixed at higher level. All right, he hasn't won all of his fights, Garcia, but he's beaten some quality fighters that are much better than Conor Benn. I mean, Conor's done a great job in terms of A, getting paid, and B, talking himself into a world title fight. I don't know who does that. I don't know who's done that before.
Taking that argument further, Duke McKenzie questions whether Benn will have the physical advantages needed to compete with Garcia over the full distance. He suggests the weight dynamics could leave Benn at a noticeable disadvantage, making the overall size and strength matchup just as important as the boxing itself.
He's managed to do it. Now, for him to beat Ryan Garcia, it will take more than just... It's going to take more than just boxing skill, and it's going to take more than just a big punch. I don't think Conor Benn's going to be physically strong enough, because I think he'd be weight drained. I'm not making excuses for him, you understand, but I think he'd be weight drained before the fight, because I think they don't have a weight stipulation where they can put on as much as they want after the weigh-in. Even if you're eating all night long, even if you're eating all night long, you still only so much weight you can put on. Let's just say he puts on a stone overnight, and he goes into the fight at 154. Still ain't going to be strong enough, because Garcia ain't a small guy.
Shifting the focus away from pure technique, Tony Bellew sees the mental battle as one area where Benn could hold an edge. In his view, the adversity Benn has faced has built an exceptional level of resilience that few fighters possess. Bellew believes that toughness could become a significant factor once the pressure starts to build.
Because I think Ryan Garcia is I don't want to say mentally vulnerable, but I think you can get to him.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean but like, I think he is mentally the weaker of the two. Like, I'll tell you now, Conor Benn mentally is bulletproof. With what that boy's been through, and I know what he's been through, and I know where he's been in some really tough spots. He really, really has, that lad. And I just think mentally he's bulletproof. Like, you're not getting to Conor Benn mentally.
Meanwhile, Josh Taylor believes the fight ultimately hinges on Garcia's performance rather than Benn's. He suggests that if Garcia produces his best form on the night, the champion's overall ability could prove too much for Benn to overcome.
Yeah, but I just don't like. As I say, I think if Ryan turns up at his best, and like you say, depends what Ryan turns up.
Yeah.
But if he does turn up at his best, I think that
He's in trouble.
I think that Conor Benn's in trouble, and I don't think he'll have anything to worry about. Right?
From another perspective, Fernando Vargas identifies movement and disciplined boxing as Benn's clearest path to success. He suggests Ben should rely on angles, footwork, and sustained pressure to disrupt Garcia's rhythm rather than engaging in a firefight. Vargas also believes a consistent body attack could gradually shift the momentum and test Garcia's resolve as the fight unfolds.
If you box and move, he's not gonna be able to hit you, he's gonna get mad. He's gonna tell you to come on, and you're gonna say, no, I'm too smart. And all that happened. And guess what? Also, what? If you are doing your job boxing and beating the shit out of him like the way you're gonna do it, by boxing to the right, to the left, using your angles, he's gonna quit. I go, what? What do you mean? Why are you saying that? You wanna know why he's gonna quit, Fernando? Oh, why? Because he already did it one time. If you did it one time in your life, you don't care no more. You'll do it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's it. You don't care.
Despite that, Fernando Vargas views this as a far more competitive matchup than many are predicting. While he gives Garcia credit for his experience and natural advantages, Vargas believes Benn's mentality and willingness to keep fighting could become an important factor if the contest turns into a battle of resilience.
Conor Benn can fight.
Yeah.
Conor Benn can fight. I don't think that it's gonna be that easy. I think that Ryan can probably beat him, but not gonna be easy. And I'm like tit for tat, like for that in that fight. Like I really think it's like an even fight.
Really?
Yeah.
Ryan's got a much deeper amateur background. He got the left hook and all that, but
Has Conor Benn quit?
no, he is not.
That's all you gotta say. When you think about that, all you gotta think is that. Has Conor Benn quit?
No.
Okay.
But he didn't fight
wait. Let me ask you a question. Has Ryan Garcia quit?
He has.
Okay.
Looking at the matchup from a technical standpoint, Sergio Mora believes Garcia has reached another level following his recent performances. He suggests Garcia's continued development has made him an even more complete fighter, creating a difficult challenge for Benn. For Mora, those improvements make Garcia the clear favorite heading into the fight.
But I think we're seeing a new Ryan Garcia. That performance against Mario Barrios surprised the hell out of me. I never knew he had a right hand. So that means he developed a right hand, and he always had that lethal left hook. So I think Conor Benn, who needs to get on the inside, it's going to be a recipe for disaster. So I think Ryan Garcia is a major favorite, and Conor Benn's going to have a tough fight.
From another viewpoint, Chris Mannix acknowledges that Benn has the power to change the fight with a single moment. Even so, he believes Garcia holds far more paths to victory because of his overall skill set and offensive versatility, leaving the champion as the clear favorite.
Yeah, I would say there's a chance because I do think Conor Benn has explosive power. We've seen Ryan Garcia drop to the body. We've seen him stop to the body. We've also seen him clipped when he steps back. Like when he steps back, he has a bad habit of dropping his hands and exposing his chin, and maybe Conor Benn can catch him like that. But I do think Ryan is an overwhelming favorite, and there's a lot more ways that Ryan Garcia can stop Conor Benn than Conor Benn can stop Ryan Garcia. I do want to ask you one thing about this.
Kell Brook slightly favors Garcia, but he isn't dismissing Benn's chances. He feels Benn has the mentality to deliver a stronger performance when the pressure is greatest, making the contest far from straightforward. If Benn reaches that level, Garcia could be forced into a far tougher fight than many anticipate.
Yeah, I gave him a good chance. Do you know what I mean? I gave him a good chance. It's not like I'm saying, I do lean towards Garcia winning the fight. I do. Especially because his last fight he boxed well, but the fight before he didn't box so good. But I just think that he'll rise to the occasion. The champions, and I think that we're going to see the best of both of them. But I think Garcia's got that.
Building on that point, Tony Bellew considers Garcia the rightful favorite because of his explosive speed, power, and proven ability at the elite level. Even so, He believes the fight could hinge on whether Garcia delivers his best performance from the opening bell. Bellew sees mental toughness as a weapon that could keep him competitive if the momentum begins to shift.
You don't know which Ryan Garcia is going to turn up. Because if the Ryan Garcia that got him with Rolly Romero turns up, that's going to lose. That's not going to be enough. Yeah, I rate Rolly as well, because Rolly's a good fighter, but is Ryan interested? Is he bothered? Mentally, I think Ryan Garcia's all over the place. Mentally, I think Conor's so strong mentally. To get through what he went through for them years, he is mentally so strong. So Garcia's the favourite, and he's the overwhelming favourite because of the qualities that he has and the fundamentals that he has. Lightning speed, a vicious left hook. I haven't seen anyone do to Devin Haney what he done.
Looking beyond the physical matchup, Max Kellerman believes much of the intrigue lies in the mental side of the fight. He suggests Conor Benn's relentless self-belief could test Ryan Garcia in ways that extend beyond pure boxing ability. For Kellerman, that alone makes the matchup more competitive than many assume.
Conor Benn, it's not just that he's going at Ryan Garcia, he's identifying something that Ryan has to deal with. I don't think Ryan quit against Tank. I think he got stopped. I think you could argue he wasn't really trying to win against Rolly.
He pissed down his
right, and you can call that a form of packing it in. So the point is, between those two fights, and I think Ryan does have heart, but between those two fights, it is an issue that Ryan has to confront, right? He has to look himself in the mirror and confront it. He's got to deal with the public if they're saying it. And the fact that Conor picked that out, and the one thing about Conor you can't say is there's nothing in him that leads you to believe he's not going to try his hardest to win. That, to me, is within a 2-to-1 kind of fight.
Looking at the stylistic matchup, Sean Porter gives Garcia the edge based on what he's seen recently. He believes Garcia's speed, range, and ability to strike from the outside create a favorable matchup against Benn's approach. For Porter, those tactical advantages make Garcia the deserved favorite heading into the fight.
I think that fight, based off of how Ryan Garcia just looked in his last fight, I mean, it looks like he beats Conor Benn. Conor Benn has a style that matches what Ryan is good. You know, the style clash favors Ryan Garcia because of his speed, because of his power from the outside. So definitely a tough fight for Conor Benn. Again, based off of Ryan's last fight, I would say 60-40. Ryan Garcia wins that fight, possibly.
Even so, Sean Porter believes Benn has developed into a much more complete fighter than many give him credit for. Drawing on his own sparring experience with Benn, Porter argues that the British contender possesses more versatility and technical ability than public perception suggests. For Porter, those qualities make Benn a more dangerous opponent than many are willing to acknowledge.
Conor is very, very tough, and that's what I already knew about him, but I got to see it firsthand when we sparred. He's much more versatile than we saw in the first fight with Eubank. Comes back in a rematch against Eubank. We see the versatility, we see the speed, the foot movement, and things of that nature. Those were the things that I saw in sparring when I sparred with him, just 4 easy rounds or whatever, which let me know that he could beat Chris. The first fight, I said, man, he just was hyped up. He got caught up in the moment. The second fight, he comes back, and as most of us would, I would have come back much different in the second fight with Kell Brook. You know, you kind of learn some things about your opponent, and you see their speed, their power, and you're more ready for it in the second one.
Meanwhile, Henry Garcia believes the heated buildup won't distract Garcia from the task ahead. He insists Garcia has remained fully committed throughout camp and expects that preparation to make the difference on fight night.
Like Conor got this anger in him that he just wants to prove to people that, hey, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna destroy Ryan. Obviously they call him the destroyer, but he's got another thing coming, because we're gonna be prepared. We're gonna be well prepared for September 12th. Okay, I want everybody to tune in, because I'm telling you, you're gonna see a knockout.
Ryan, WBC champion, what does he need to do to beat Conor Benn? I mean, Ryan said knockout in 5. Do you think that's gonna happen?
Very much possible, obviously, because like I've always told people, 100% mind, body, and soul. There's no one that can really challenge Ryan. And I feel that 5 or under, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Shakur Stevenson expects Garcia to be the clear favorite heading into the matchup. Even so, he believes the outcome still depends on which version of Garcia shows up, leaving just enough uncertainty for Benn to make the fight more competitive than expected.
Who do you think wins that fight?
Ryan Garcia.
Do you think it's a close fight? Do you think it's a dominant win for him? How do you see it playing out?
Nah, I think Ryan should win that pretty easy. I don't think this should be a hard fight for Ryan. But, you know, you never know who shows up with Ryan. Like, the guy that fought against Rolly, Conor Benn might get in there and scare him and put him in his place. So we'll see.
Carl Frampton also refuses to treat Garcia as an overwhelming favorite. While leaning toward Garcia, he believes Benn's relentless approach gives him a genuine opportunity to make the fight uncomfortable, makes the matchup far less predictable than many assume.
Yeah, well, I have him as a favourite, but not a heavy favourite. It wouldn't surprise me if Ben wins. I think if you look at how Ben fights and his tenacity, that could give Garcia a lot of problems. And whether you like to believe it or not, like against Gervonta Davis, who's a smaller man than Ben. Ben isn't Gervonta Davis. They're different type of fighters. But if he's quitting against Gervonta Davis, I think someone with the tenacity of Conor Benn can make him do the same.
Ultimately, though, Carl Frampton still gives Garcia the edge heading into the fight. He sees certain qualities in Garcia's game that could prove decisive, while insisting Benn remains capable of making this a far closer contest than many expect.
I do have Garcia as the favourite. I think his timing is very good. That left hook is very special and very fast. And Ben is going to be there to be hit. So we'll see. I have Garcia as a favourite, but yeah, don't write Ben off. I think he has a chance.
Offering another viewpoint, Abel Sanchez sees very little separating Garcia and Benn heading into the fight. He believes the outcome could hinge on which version of each fighter arrives on the night, making this a far more unpredictable contest than many are suggesting. For Sanchez, it's close enough that either man has a realistic path to victory.
I guess Ryan has just had a great fight with Barrios. He looked very good, but then he didn't look so good against Rolly. So it depends on which Garcia shows up. I think Ben coming down, hopefully he's doing it correctly. It doesn't weaken him. I look for a late knockout actually in this fight. Either way, I'm not picking one guy or the other because if the right Conor Benn shows up weight-wise, then he could be too strong for Garcia. But if Garcia cracks him, he can hit. So it's a 50-50 fight for me.
Expanding on that point, Abel Sanchez rejects the idea of questioning either fighter's courage ahead of the matchup. He argues that anyone willing to step into the ring at this level has already earned that respect. For Sanchez, both Garcia and Benn possess the ability to make this a genuine fight.
Now, anybody that steps to the ropes, has got huge heart and big balls. So no, I think it's unfair to anybody to question anybody that steps to the ropes. Most of the people that are questioning that have never done it. So I'm sure Conor understands that Garcia's got all the tools. He had a great amateur career in the U.S., so he can fight. But so can Conor.
Meanwhile, Josh Kelly expects Garcia's best form to be difficult for Benn to overcome. Although he'd like to see Benn succeed, Kelly believes Garcia's overall qualities give him the edge if he performs to his usual standard. He ultimately sees the fight ending in Garcia's favor.
I mean, if Garcia goes in there and he's on form and performs the way he normally performs, I mean, Conor's got a lot of things to deal with. Obviously, you got to try and root for the British guy in that, but I mean, I can't see past Ryan Garcia clipping him and stopping him.
Tim Bradley believes Garcia is entering the fight with quiet confidence rather than emotion. He suggests Garcia's belief is rooted in his experience against elite opposition and confidence in his own abilities, leaving him largely unaffected by Benn's attempts to gain a mental edge before fight night.
Ryan's a little bit more reserved, like with it. It's like, it's a calm confidence that I like from him. He's just like, you gonna find out. Like, it's different. It's different levels. My hand speed gonna be too much for you. My power gonna be too much from you. You know, I got more experience than you. I got more amateur experience than you. Like, bro, you can't beat me, bro. Like, you're not better than Haney. You're not better than all these other guys that I faced. Like, yeah, you might can punch hard, but I can punch harder as well. You know, so like, he's not spooked with the talk coming from Conor Benn. And another thing, I think that
offering a different outlook, Floyd Schofield Sr. sees this as a far more balanced matchup than many are predicting. He believes Benn has the style and physical tools to make life uncomfortable for Garcia, provided he can execute the right game plan. For Schofield, that uncertainty makes the fight much harder to call than the odds suggest.
But I would go, I don't think Ryan gonna knock him out with a left hook like everybody believing. And if Ryan can't knock Conor out with a left hook, it's a long night for Ryan. If he can't, if that left hook isn't challenging. If Conor could get in that chest and stay in that chest and take away that left hook, then what Ryan gonna do? So that's why that's a 50-50 fight too, because if Conor get clipped on that chin, his ass is night-night.
With so many contrasting opinions, this remains one of the most intriguing fights on the schedule. Whether Ryan Garcia's skill set prevails or Conor Benn's pressure changes the script, the answers will come inside the ring. Who's your pick to win? And will it end by knockout or on the scorecards? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more boxing news and analysis.